this is Lily from Type Remnants. Today we're going to be selling this cool mocha typewriter.
Thank you, Lily. This is a Signature 300 made by Brother. They sold these through Montgomery Ward's, and it's one of my favorite versions of the Brother JP1 models. This one has a really nice two-tone, I don't know what the official colors are, so we're going to say mocha and sand maybe. And it just has a really neat color scheme. When you look at the blue and black and gold faceplate, it's slightly, I don't know if it's upgraded, but it's a little bit fancier than a lot of the little Brother JP1s that you'd see, like the Brother Charger 11, because this has this, clear glass cover in this fancy faceplate. I'll show you in a minute when I take the ribbon cover off that some of the ribbon drive mechanisms, they're all metal. They switched to plastic a little bit later on. So that's kind of a, I don't know, an upgrade or a nice feature. One thing I did find out is that the early Brothers have a metal typewriter. It's not plastic like the keys. It's painted metal, and I actually had to sand this and repaint it with a white epoxy spray paint, and I think it turned out really nice looking. I did have the keys brightened also. They were yellowing just a tad, so I used some hairstyling stuff with hydrogen peroxide in it to brighten up the keys. And it's looking really good. Do a little tour around here. It's got touch control on the left side for heavy versus light touch. You can actually feel a difference. A lot of typewriters, that feature doesn't really, or it's hard to tell a difference, but makes a significant difference when it's on heavy versus light touch, and that's just a personal preference. There's a dedicated one, an exclamation mark. There's your ribbon color selector, black, stencil, and red. I actually have black and blue in this typewriter. We'll show you on the type test. I thought it went well with the little faceplate, with the black and blue faceplate. Coming around to the side, here's your paper bale. Does not have paper bale rollers. That's just the way they came. It's a little triangular shaped paper bale, and it works perfectly. One of the things I like about Brothers, and I know I've said this over and over, but I'll mention it every time we're showing a Brother, is that the platen and feed rollers feel like they're brand new. Nice and soft platen. This thing did get the full chemical clean, had all the body panels off. Everything got cleaned, tuned, and adjusted. And you'll see in a minute the results on the type test. Has a little eraser table, flip up eraser table here. When people used to erase their mistakes here, and all the eraser shavings went down into the machine. So hopefully, if you buy this, you won't let your eraser shavings down in there. It makes a mess. Has a single carriage release lever on the right side. Nice loud bell. Push and slide left and right margins. Kind of a bulletproof design. I do like the fact that this one has an all metal body. Some of the later Brother JP1s, like the Charger 11, went to plastic on the carriage end cap and back plate. This is all metal, and it also has the pop-up paper support, which is kind of cool. Here you can see Montgomery Ward. The second digit there is a 3. That indicates that this was made in 1963. So it was an early model JP1. Coming around to this side, here's your line space selector, single, space and a half, double space, and then R's to release the clicks if you wanted to make a fine line adjustment. And I'm going to hand off the camera here to my assistant Jonah. We'll pull off the ribbon cover here. Usually I end up replacing these little rubber bumpers because they're rock hard. These are actually still nice and soft. The little rubber grommets here are still nice and soft also, so I did not have to replace those. I did replace the little rubber bumpers under the space bar. So I had a loud clacking before, now it's a nice thumpa thumpa. Okay, so I'm gonna lift up this ribbon spool and you'll see down in here, Jonah, if you'll come in, everything's metal. You'll notice on later Brothers, this gear's plastic, the spindle on some of them are plastic. That little pin that holds and turns the ribbon spool is plastic on later models. So I kind of like this one that's all metal. So put that back in. Get the ribbon back in there. There we go. And it does have little eyelets. You have to have eyelets to come out here and trigger the ribbon reverse fork. So we have eyelets installed on this. And over here, I think I forgot to show it on the first way around. This is the carriage lock. So when you're ready to put it in the case, flip that guy forward and it stops halfway. And then when you're ready to type, flip it backwards or flip it back. And then I think I also forgot to show, this is the little paper release lever right here. So if you put paper in and it's crooked, flip it back, and then when you're ready to type, flip that guy forward. So, Jonah, did I miss anything?
Nope.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and do the type test next, and then we'll show you the case. Can't believe Jonah forgot to remind me. This is the margin release key, but it's also the de-jammer key. So if you're typing and you get two type bars stuck up there, you can either flick them back with your fingers or push the de-jammer key. So that's a double duty margin release and de-jammer key.
This is Ailey, and now my dad's gonna show you the bottom of the typewriter.
Yeah, I was going to show you the paint is in excellent condition all around. There's a little tiny paint chip here on the ribbon cover where the handle probably bumped up against it when it was in the case. I make little foam covers for these so that when you put it in the case it doesn't end up chipping the ribbon cover. But I'll tip up the bottom of the machine and show you the bottom is in excellent shape. I did put new rubber feet on the bottom. The old gray feet were kind of hard and starting to crack, so it's got fresh rubber on the bottom, and you can see the paint a lot of times is scuffed on the bottom, but this one looks like brandy new.
And now for the type test.
So usually I use 2 pieces of paper, but since this has such a nice soft platen, you can get away with just using a single sheet. Do a couple lines on black. There's the bell, and there's the line lock, so margin release. Do a couple lines on the red setting, which is blue. So I love the typing feel on Brother JP1's. Super snappy and responsive. This has elite typeface. That's one clue if you're looking at a typewriter. If the number scale goes all the way up to 90 and 100, that's a good indication that it's elite, unless it's a super wide carriage. So on the early models, later JP1s, they added 2 little prongs to come up here to help, I think it was probably to help keep the ribbon off the paper. I noticed when I had a heavily inked ribbon on here, had a little bit of smudging, especially on the red setting, and it still has a hair on there, not so much on the black. But this black and blue ribbon is not quite as heavily inked. It has just a teeny tad of smudging. but that'll fade away, I think, as you use the ribbon more. You can see the print quality is excellent. So really snazzy little typer, very responsive, and I love Brothers because they're reliable and pretty easy to get apart for cleaning and maintenance.
Now let's review the case.
So it's not real leather, it's some type of vinyl leatherette looking material. This one has I don't know, Webster XL500s have a similar looking case. It's blue, that's a little smoother. This has kind of a, I don't know if you could see that texture in there. Really, I don't know, alligator-ish, scratchy texture, which is kind of nice. Handle's in excellent shape. A lot of times, or sometimes, you'll see rips on the zipper. This one is in good shape. You just have to be careful when you open it. Very gentle when you unzip it all the way around. And make sure you don't stop there, because I think that's probably why a lot of zippers are busted here, is that people open up the case when this is not all the way open. So you have to go all the way around to the bottom and around, then open it up. You can see the inside is in excellent shape, no tears. Clean the inside of the case too. It's got a nice little pocket for papers here. I think that used to hold a pencil eraser. One thing you do have to be careful of is if you stick your big fat fingers in there, careful not to rip these stitches here, because not a whole lot of wiggle room, and so if you lose something down at the bottom, just turn it upside down and shake it rather than stick your fingers in there, because you don't want to rip these sides. I see that a lot. So case is in excellent shape. It does have a little rubber bumper down here on the bottom, so when the machine is tipped up, it's actually resting on this rubber strip. That's in excellent shape also. So that's a look at the case. Oh, well, let's look at the bottom. Here's the bottom. It's got 4 little metal feet. Really snazzy case, excellent shape.
If you're interested in buying this machine, you can contact us directly or put a link to the eBay sale down in the comments. Thanks for joining us in Typewriter Minutes. Make sure to share, link, like, and subscribe. Bye!